morning, everyone. So today we are going to see another type of your 2D transformation, that is known as your reflection. So here you can see the reflection is a kind of rotation where the angle of rotation is 180 degree. Okay, so you are going to reflect one of the object. Reflection, as the name is suggesting you. So you are going to reflect something. Okay, so you are going to reflect the object in 180-degree angle, but in rotation you can rotate it in any of the angle, but in reflection you have to go only through the 180-degree angle. And here the reflected object is always formed on the other side of the mirror. You know the reflection, how it reflects. If you will keep the mirror, so it's going to reflect on the other side of your mirror. That's the reason we have taken the angle value as 180 degree. And the next point, you can see the size of reflected object is same as the size of original object. Okay, so because as we are not going to change any x-axis and y-axis or any of the things, only the angle we are going to consider. So the reflected object will be same as your original object, the size will be same. Now let's consider a point, object O, and here we are going to see that how we can reflect the object in a 2D plane. So the initial coordinate points of your object will be x old comma y old. Okay, let's take it as x old comma y old, and the new coordinates of your reflected object will be after your reflection. Let's take it as your x new comma y new. Fine. So these two are your coordinate values of your initial coordinates and your reflected object coordinates. Now let's see. So here what's happened is we have to find out the reflection in two axes. One will be in your x-axis and another one you are going to find out on your y-axis. Okay, so let's see now what will happen in your x-axis. So in this reflection, how you are going to achieve it? Here the x new value will be equals to your x old value, but y new value will be negative of your y old value. Okay, so this is the formula you are going to remember. How we are going to represent it in a matrix form, because whenever we will write, we are going to write in two form. One will be in a simple matrix form and another one will be in a homogeneous coordinate system. Okay, so in matrix form, you have to take only two axes, that is x and y axis. So you are going to find out x new and y new, where you are going to multiply with your old coordinate points. So here what will be your new coordinate points? How you are going to find out? You are going to keep your adjacent matrix and the y value will be your -1. That you have to keep in mind. Okay, so if you multiply, you are going to get x new and y new coordinate values. But the same thing, if I'm going to represent in my homogeneous coordinate system, I have to write in z axis as it will be identical matrix. So I'll just write it as 1. And in my old initial points also, I have to represent it as 1. So in your adjacent matrix, always it will be 1, the value in your z axis, and here it will be as same as. So in your x value it will be 1, in your y value it will be -1, because here we have written the equation how it's going to be. So you have to remember that equation. This is very important actually. Okay, and here the z value will be equals to your 1. So this is the reflection matrix of your x-axis. Homogeneous represented this side and normal matrix form is in this side. So moving towards your next slide, here you can see the reflection on your y-axis. So how you are going to find out? Here x new value will be negative of your x old and y new value will be y old. Okay, so here x new value only you are going to change in the matrix form. You are not going to change any other thing. Okay, so that you have to remember. And here y new value will be as same as it is 1. So this is your simple matrix form. But if you want to convert it into your homogeneous coordinate, you have to keep it as your 3 cross 3 matrix and you have to keep your z axis as 1. So here you can see x new, y new 1, and in your initial coordinate values will be x old, y old 1, and your matrix form will be minus 1, 0, 0. I will just repeat it. This is x, this is y, this is z. So as I'm considering the x coordinate system now, I have represented it as minus or negative value, so minus 1. And here x, y, z again, so y value will be same as your x value, so sorry, y new value, so it will be 1. So here I'm keeping it as 1, and z value will be in the z axis 1. So this is the reflection matrix on your y axis in homogeneous coordinate system. Now I have one example. Here you can see how you're going to represent. So you have one triangle where the coordinate points have given. So A, B, C will represent as your vertex points, and they have the x1 value and y1 value. Here x2 value, y2 value, and x3 value, y3 value. So you are going to apply the reflection on your x-axis, and you are going to obtain the new coordinates of the object. How you are going to do? So here the given values will be the old corner coordinates, otherwise you can say that it is the initial coordinate value of your triangle. So this value has given. So you are going to do the reflection on your x-axis. So if I want to do the reflection on my first vertex, so after reflection I should get the value as x new comma y new. So if I will apply the reflection equation, I know that the formula is x new will be equals to x old, and y new will be equals to minus y old. This is my formula. So if I will put the values into that, then what the answer I will get? As x new equals to x old, the value will be same as 3, and y new is equals to minus y old, so the value will be equals to minus 4. Similar, so this one will be your new coordinates of your A, vertex A. After reflection, the value is 3 comma minus 4. Similarly, you have to find out for your coordinates B, then you have to find out the coordinates of here C also. Okay, once you have done with that, you have to write the total triangles coordinate values after reflection, where the A value will be this much, B will be this much, C will be this much. Then you have to represent in a graph paper. You have to take x and y and z axis, or if it were doing in 2D plane, that is also fine. So A point means you know the value they have given 3 comma 4, you have to represent. B value you have to represent. C value you have to represent. So to represent this one, you can take the unit scale of your x and y axis and draw your original object. Then you have to check your new value, whatever you got. So accordingly, you are going to put the values, and you can map it that this is the original object, and this is my mirror, and this is my reflected object. So this kind of diagram also you need to do it. Okay, so this is one example. I have one more example which you are going to solve it. So this is the question, and you are going to apply the reflection on your y-axis. So you have the formula. Similar way, you have to apply the formula, and then you are going to write for the C coordinate, A, B, C, all the coordinates. You are going to write it, and then you are going to draw the diagram. So this task you are going to do it. Now next part will be your shearing. So let's see what you mean by shearing, which is the last type of your 2D transformation. We have completed transformation. Under your 2D transformation, we have completed translation, we have completed rotation, we have completed scaling, we have completed just now this reflection, and now we are going to see shearing. So now what do you mean by shearing? So shearing means a transformation which will be slants on the shape of an object is called a shearing. Okay, so where you are going to slant the object, that time you are going to use this shearing. And this shearing is of two types. One will be your x shear, and another one will be your y shear. So if you are shifting any values towards your x coordinates, you can say it as x shearing values. If you are shifting your y coordinate values, you can say that y shear transformations. So in both the cases, what will happen is only one coordinate value will change, and it will just preserve some of the values. That's the reason we used to call the shearing as skewing. You remember, this is your Viva question. Why to call the shearing as a skewing? Because it's going to change only one coordinate values and it will just preserve the values. That's the reason we used to call the shearing as skewing. So here you can see the version of your shearing. So one will be in your x-axis, another one will be in your y-axis. So now moving to the next slide, here you can see, let's explain this shearing properly. So let's consider one object O which has to be sheared on your 2D plane. So normally I used to take the initial point. So let's take the initial point as your x old comma y old. And if I'm doing the shearing towards my x direction, then my parameter will be, let's consider it as SHX. And if I'm doing shearing towards your y direction, then my parameter will be SHY, and the new coordinate values will be x new comma y new. So we have considered this many values. Now let's do the shearing on x axis. So what will happen? So here if I'm considering that one, I have the formula. What is the formula here? In if I'm doing on your x axis, then x new will be equals to x old plus shearing of your x axis multiplied with your y old values. These formulas you people need to remember. But in your y new will be the same as your y old value. Okay. So this is the formula. Now what will happen? Suppose if I am applying that formula, the shearing equation, then in matrix form, I'll get one matrix. How I will get the x new and y new value? So here you can see the it is going to multiply with x old and y old value, which will be constant in all the transformations. But here the shearing property will be 1 for your x value, and in your y value here you have to write shearing of your x axis. Then here 0 and 1, because we are going to keep the y new value as same. So this is the shearing property of your matrix form. Okay. Next one will be in your homogeneous coordinates, how you are going to represent. So here 1 0 0, then shearing x, then 1 0, then 0 0 1. You have to remember, you are not going to find out how it came, but according to your shearing equation, you have to represent it in the matrix form. And here x old, y old, and 1. So you just remember here only you are going to change as your shearing x. So now if you want to do the shearing in y-axis, what will be the formula you are going to use? You are going to use the formula as same. X value, you are going to keep it constant as your x old value, and y new value will be y old plus shearing of your y-axis multiplied with your x old. Okay, just opposite of your x-axis. So now if I will go to the next slide, I have to represent in my matrix form. So here what I will do, I have to write 1 0, and in your y axis in y new, I have to write shearing on your y axis, then 1 multiplied with your initial coordinate values. So this is your matrix form. If in homogeneous coordinate, if I want to represent, I have to write here 1 shy here shearing, then 0. You can remember in this way, first you write everything as 1, but you can see shearing y is multiplying with your y x old value, right? Here in the previous you can see shearing y is multiplying with x old. So if I will keep it here, then I can get that answer, right? So here I'm keeping shy and here x old, then here everything will be identical, adjacent will be 1. Then you can see here z axis 1. So this is a matrix form of your homogeneous coordinate system. Okay, it is very easy to remember. It's not difficult that you can't remember. Now doing this example of your one more example of this shearing, you will be having one triangle of the points 1 comma 1 0 comma 0 and 1 comma 0. You have to apply shearing parameter 2 on x axis. So if you are applying the shearing parameter 2 on x axis and 2 on y axis, then you have to find out the new coordinates values. Okay, so how you are going to do this? So here you can see the given is the old coordinate points are this, and shearing parameter of x direction shx, which we used to represent, equals to 2, and shearing parameter towards y direction shy equals to 2. So now let's do this. So here you can see shearing in x-axis. First you have to find out individually for all the coordinate points. Okay, so let's consider the new coordinates of your corner A. After shearing will be x new comma y new, and then applying the shearing equation, x new value will be x old plus shearing x multiplied with your y old value. So put all the values and get the answer. Then here y new also will be equals to your y old value, so which is equals to 1. Then you will get your new coordinates of your corner like of your corner or vertex A after shearing. This is the answer. Similarly, you have to apply for coordinates B also, coordinate C also. Then lastly, you will get all the values on your x-axis. Okay, so that is only one formula you are going to apply here. Similarly, you have to do the shearing process for your y-axis. Whenever you are going to apply, the formula will be x new equals to x old will be equal to 1, as the value has given already, and y new formula is y old plus shearing y into x old. So you are going to put all the values, you will get the answer. Similarly, apply the same procedure for your coordinates B, coordinate C. Then you will get the value on your y-axis. Once it is done, you have to show in your diagrammatic way. So here first, this is the initial value which has been given in the question. You are going to do it like this. Then you are going to divide it for your x-axis and y-axis. Then whatever the next value you got, that you are going to write. Here you can see we are only changing the size of your coordinate values. Okay, but we are not moving it anywhere else. We are only changing the size. So that is known as your shearing. It can be on your x-axis, means it will just slant towards your x-axis. If I am applying on y-axis, then it will just slant on your y-axis. So this is all about your 2D transformation. Okay, and in the next class onwards, we are going to see the combination of transformations, where on one object we can put all the transformations like translation also, rotation also, scaling also, everything all together we are going to apply for one object. Till now whatever we have done, we have applied individually for one object, and we have seen how it looks. Now we are going to combine all the transformations, and we are going to see how it will look, which I am going to cover it in the next class. I hope you people have understood. Thank you.